Welcome to Crafters TV. How is your day going thus far? On a scale of 1 to 10. Sorry, I was like, oh, be creative. 1 to 10. Say you're sitting around at a level 7. We are about to ramp that up because we have got some serious creativity on the way. Well, hello, it's lovely to see you. My name is Rebecca Redican. You can call me Becky, and I'm actually joined by another person called Becky. It's lovely Becky Sworn.
Hello, Becky squared today, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I never get that. Because there's just 2 of us.
There should be 4 of us if it's Becky squared.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it'd be like if there's 4 of us?
Oh my
Crazy.
days. Bring out the mirrors. We have got the fabulous Becky with us today. Hey, speaking of fabulous, do you like making savings? If you do, I've got triple points for you today. On anything you want. Oh no, really? Fancy getting yourself a new builder block? No problem. I'm going to give you a massive discount on that, 70% off. But also going to give to you triple points. I have got some brand new treats for you might not have seen before. I've got some Saver Stitch goodies as well, and all of it is triple points. In fact, head on over to the website. Treat yourself to those triple points. We've already have some lovely people today boosting their way up the totem pole of our Club Inspire. Don't know why it's a totem pole, but you know what I mean. So if you do fancy it, we have got loads coming up for you. Now, let's chat about something that is really, really cool. This is our deal of the week when it comes to our sewing, and this is a material that is going to give you serious usability. Have you got a fabric that you absolutely love? Maybe you've got a fabric that you've used indoors quite a bit, whether that be using it, for example, for your cushions, your pillow sets, your blankets, your quilting, etc. Have you ever loved that fabric so much that actually you just want to use it in so many different ways? How's about if we can give it a waterproof coating? Well, what doors is that going to open up? Well, it means that those cushions that you've made for inside, you can now turn into cushions that you have outside now that the summer sun's coming. But let's face it, especially if you're here in the UK, expect a little bit of weather. These are going to mean that you have got cushions outside that will happily sit out there. Maybe you've got someone in your family who loves crafting, making a mess, painting and baking, but themselves and your work surfaces need something to make sure that they stay in tip-top shape. If that is the case, how about you're making your own aprons, you're making own covers with that favourite fabric? We have got for you 2 pots for the price of 1 that can do all of that and more. It is our fabric coat that we've got for you today. 250 mils in each pot. You're going to buy one, you're going to get the other one for free. And this does so much to your fabulous fabric. So it means, for example, if you have a little look at this that the lovely Becky made for us earlier on, this is one of our fabrics we've got on the show for you today, actually. You will see, even just by looking at it, one of them is completely matte, the other is a very slight sheen. That's because we've used our fabric coat, and that has meant that if you wanted to pop this with the likes of your pens in your nice handbag, doesn't matter if that pen leaks because it's not going to go anywhere. This is all done with the magic within these pots, and today you're getting it half price, but you're also getting triple those points. Well worth treating yourself to this today because it does loads. Now, I have just given you a sneaky peek of that fabric, and I want to show you more of them if I may. Now, we have had these on before. So popular were they that we've decided to bring them back for you. However, I will let you know that some of them, because I think quite a few of you might have missed out on them initially, so actually you're coming back now that you've seen them on our website for the last couple of days and you're treating yourself to them now. I will say some of them are very low in stock. On our last look, this one here that I'm bringing to you first, I had less than 5 available, so I'm just sort of pinpointing that for you now. Let's chat about the different ones we can get. So first things first, lovely design and detail you have got within this. Wonderful pattern on this one. As you can see, this has got your cream tulip outline, but when we're saying tulip, you can see there's so many different flowers within here, almost like roses in areas, bouquets flourishing on this. Really nice nude colour, and therefore works great with so many different things. So if you want kind of your back palette, this is a really nice one. All of these are $6.99, and that is for the half metre. But as per usual, if you did want, say, a full continuous metre, just select 2 of these and we'll cut it for you in 1 metre sheet. Next up, I'm bringing to you our grasses and silhouette on red. This has got that fiery feel to it, really wonderful detail within this one. You've almost got this floral nuclei, and then you have these flames enveloping it. It's a really nice warming one, and actually it's got the flowers, so nice for spring, but actually I think with those deep rambunctious reds, it's also got a touch of the kind of autumn about it, if you know what I mean. So we've got that one for you. As well as that, let me show you this that we worked with earlier on in this lovely waterproof design that Becky made for us. We're getting here the buds on red, and the buds on red, buds on red, buds on red. So you've got the wonderful detail and design of the little red buds here. To me, they almost look like chilies. So if you've got someone who maybe loves kind of like chilies, I've got some chili plants, I know, and I've managed not to kill them yet, which is amazing. But yeah, that's kind of what these look like. So if you've got any spice lovers, that could be a nice one. Then I'm going to bring to you our grasses on red, and this, boy oh boy, is this snazzy. I really like this one because I think it's got a little bit of personality about it, you know. If you've got anyone in your family who likes something with a little bit of oomph, may I suggest this one because it has got oomph for days. As well as that one, I'm bringing to you the grasses on green. I think this one's my favourite, if I'm completely honest. It's just so lovely. I really like the detail in this. It's also quite nice too because it has almost a haphazard feel of it. Obviously it has an actual print, but it has almost like a haphazard feel of it. So if you did just want to use small sections to maybe make a bag, don't have to worry too much about the direction because it all just sort of works in together. So there's that one. I've also got for you today, ta-da, these 2. Now these work great together. This is Ditzy Tulip, and this one here is on green. Really nice, delicate green to this, almost like sort of an aqueous green to it. Really pretty in its detail, and again, you've got all of these wonderful florals and fauna elements there. And I've also got the same in the yellow for you. I mentioned this earlier on, but it's not like an acidic yellow, so if you don't like big, bold colours, and you want something a little bit more chilled, a bit more muted, this is definitely the one for you. I think for this, when I'm thinking of these muted colours, maybe very nice for a sort of a baby, baby quilt or something like that. This could be really lovely, especially if the baby is still to be born. You kind of want sort of a gender neutral colour, let's say. This could be a really nice one. Nice and dainty and delicate baby colours. So those are your options. Which 2 or 3 are you going to be getting today? Do feel free to let us know. Also, if you are watching us live right now, because by the way it is live today. Oh yeah, it's live because it's 9 minutes past 2 approximately in the UK. If you are watching live, do not forget, let us know what you're up to with your fabulous Good Friday. We'd love to hear from you. I have mainly been sporting this bag because I absolutely love this design, and this is part of our wonderful builder block. So our builder block this week for you to feast your eyes on is this magnificent pineapple design. Now in here you are going to see you're getting multiple of different dies, and don't forget all of the dies in this make your life so much easier because you run it through your die cutting machine. It does it quick as a I don't know, really quick thing. And it also means that you don't have to sit there and cut out patterns and do all of the technical essence of it, which for some people works. For me personally, I do prefer using it in this way. It also adds on things like seam allowances for you, so it can really save you time. And in this collection, overspin, you get absolutely loads of dies. We'll talk you through it more in a moment. But for now, if you would like to treat yourself to this, we're giving you not 10% off, not 20, not 30, not 40, not 50, not 60, but 70% saving. Absolutely incredible. So basically, you could make something like this for approximately 70% less than you would have expected to in the first instance. I absolutely adore these, and I know a lady who has a penchant for a pineapple. It's Becky! I just know, because I've seen the way that you've been coveting this pineapple design.
And I often wear, not when I come here, but I often wear a pineapple necklace, so I am really keen on pineapples.
Yeah, I thought you might be.
Yeah.
You do strike me as the type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That I can imagine. Yeah, absolutely. It makes everything so much easier being able to use the builder block. And you notice from those samples that Becky showed you how different they look when you're using different colours and different patterns of fabric. Now, this builder block is slightly different to the other ones that we've had, in that you're only going to be making that one particular block. With some of the others we have, you can make multiple sort of different types of shapes and different patterns, but this one just makes this pineapple block, but as you can see, with different colours, different patterns, you can make it look really, really beautiful. So as usual, they come in these boxes. I always think they're presentation boxes, aren't they? They're the kind of thing that, you know, it's like Pretty Woman, when he pulls out the jewellery. It could have been a builder block.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think every time I look at it as well. Said no one.
Crazy, aren't I? So these are our multimedia dies. So these are the copper coloured ones, so they're much thicker than your paper craft dies. And you'll get them all in the little box into their little slots. And you'll also get the little roadmap which shows you exactly what you're going to be cutting out. And it will give you the details of what everything's called. So in conjunction with this, you'll need to use your little booklet. And your booklet will show you the details about how to cut everything out and how to design it and how to use your grain line. So we've talked about this before, and that's to do with how you have everything cut out onto your fabric. And you'll see here, whilst we're only using a few different shapes, you do need to take into account the way that your fabric is going to turn and what angle you're going to be doing it on. So it's very simple to put together. Now, what we also have in this one, at the back, we've got some little templates for you to colour these in, so you can really plan how you're going to be doing your designs. Now, these are really useful. I found when I was sort of working out what I was going to be doing, they are really kind of key, because you're only using this one particular shape. As you saw with I think the item they had, the little bag, that shows it in sort of one idea with lots of different colours, lots of different sort of solid colours. But also where we've got the sort of green and white wall hanging or table runner, you can see the majority of that in the middle is being white, and that looks totally different. So you can really sort of make these as you will by colouring in the designs and then following the pattern. Now, at the front of the booklet, it will show you a very simple design working on just 3 colourways and how many of each of the different colours, different fabrics you need to cut out. So it's just a case of following the instructions on here. So for example, on this one you would cut out a central square, and you've got different kinds of, different sizes of squares here in order to make different sizes of blocks. And the same with all of these, you've got different sizes of the triangles, and then, what's that called? I think no, it's not a trapezium, is it?
Pentagon. 1, 2, no, pentagons, no. Yeah, trapeze.
Trapeze, yeah.
Trapezoid.
Yeah, trapezoid. So you've got those.
Yeah, 'cause it's what elephants stand on in the circus back in the olden days, isn't it?
It is, you're right, absolutely. Crazy woman. So you'll see it, and it tells you exactly how many of each of those to cut out. So for your fabric B, which is this sort of pale pink one, we'll cut 4 inner triangles. These are the ones here. And then we're cutting 4 round number 2 pieces and 4 round number 3 pieces. So you can see how you put it all together. So I'll show you, I've already cut out some of the fabric, and we'll start putting the block together.
Beautiful. Lots of you loving this. Mary Pat saying, I love all the dies in this amazing deal. It is amazing for sure. Pammy saying, I love that bag. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it as well. It's stunning. Oh, hello also to Maria. Hi, you know who I'm talking about. He's saying this is a really good idea for the fabric coat. This product would be great for the inside of makeup bags or lunch bags for easy cleaning.
Yeah.
You know, when your foundation falls over or your juice does.
Yeah.
Great idea.
And you could always you could do it on both sides. So you're protecting the outside of the bag as well.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really handy to do. So I've already cut my pieces out so you can see them here. And this here, I'll find the instructions, they're actually in English. rather than... Oh, there we go. So you can see how you're going to be building this block together. So you start with your circle. That's not a circle, is it?
It's definitely not.
It's definitely not. I need to go back to play school to identify circles and squares.
Yes.
You start with your square, and then you'll put your two triangles on either side, and then on the other side here. And you just start building it up like so. And it comes together really quickly. Now, if you were going to be cutting this by hand and putting together a quilt, you would certainly be taking days to put these all together.
Right.
You know, probably a day to cut out all the bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But obviously with the the builder block system, I ran all of these pieces of fabric to make this block in on one pass.
Great.
So I did the whole lot.
That's brilliant.
So it does make it really, really quick. So that's, I think, 18 seconds it takes for the Gemini machine to go through. So really, really quick. And we've already taken into account our seam allowance on there. And we've also sort of taken off these dog ears as well. So that makes it nice and simple for you to start putting everything together. So I'm going to start building this up now and just stitching it all together. And we'll see how far we get. So 1/4 inch seam allowance. We're doing these two sides first of all, and then this one, just here on this side. Has anybody else been messaging in about their ideas for eggs?
Yes, I did see one earlier on. So if you have just tuned in, because it's Good Friday, I'm asking you for your excellent ideas. And what I mean by that is I would like you to tell me if you were to have any style or type of egg, then what would it be? So for example, my idea was, imagine an egg-shaped Dorito. Oh yeah, big one, I mean like an Easter egg. And then inside it, just like a little pot of salsa. I think that'd be a really sellable idea. Maybe you want sort of you've got a dog in your family who's got a really good idea that they'd like to share. Maybe you, just like our lovely Becky, like to play it cool and has suggested that the egg she'd like is a Fabergé egg. Just.
I'm hoping my husband's watching.
Right, yeah.
And maybe he's thinking, oh, I bought her a really big chocolate egg, but now I know she wants a Fabergé egg. I'll pop out and get one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Is your partner good at taking hints?
No,
right.
Terrible.
Okay.
Terrible. I mean, I even send him links to the things that I actually want to buy, and he still manages to do it wrong.
Really?
So, yeah,
that's a skill.
Yeah, I think we can safely assume I will not be getting a Fabergé egg.
Right,
for Easter.
okay, well that is worth bearing in mind, most certainly. So yeah, do absolutely message us in and let us know. I did have a couple of people messaging before, but my tablet's just decided to reload, so I'll just have a little nosy at that. Just have a nosy.
So we've done the two sides first of all, and we're doing the other two sides here. So I have given them a little bit of an iron in between. So you can see how quickly this is all coming together. So let's just iron those two pieces out. I do really like that Dorito egg idea.
I know, and I wish I hadn't mentioned it in front of you, to be honest.
I'm not going to steal the idea.
I have a feeling that you will. I've had you saying how you're going to pitch that idea. I had Becky on before saying she was going to give an idea to Leanne about something. Nia's messaged him saying, I would love a, do you know what, Nia? Oh, this sounds so good. I feel like this would be like an M&S egg. Do you know what I mean? Marks and Spencer's, bit posh. I would love a vanilla wafer inside an egg encrusted in a smooth layer of thin, crunchy candy coating so that it's not too sweet with just a hint of salty.
Oh. That sounds delicious.
I'll have 7, Nick. I'll have 7. That sounds great.
That does sound really good.
I'd well have that.
Definitely. Maybe you should start, not we, but maybe you should start a whole campaign of unusual Easter eggs.
That's a really good idea. And I've got a whole year to work on it.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea.
And any ones that you want to test out, I mean, I'm quite happy. You know, if you want me to test out a Fabergé egg or something like that,
right.
I'm quite happy to do that.
Yeah.
If you need me to. So I've done.
Also, please don't think for a second that I didn't hear that initially you went, we could do this. Yeah. I don't think I didn't notice that.
All right. I hoped I was going to get away with that, but clearly not. So I've done the first part of that block. So I'm going to put these pieces over here. So I've just used the fabrics that we've got on the show today, and I've used 3 different designs on here. So this is the ditzy
on green,
and I've used the tulip outline. Is it tulip outline on cream, and the other one, buds on red, I think. Silhouette on red. So we've just got that one there, and we're going to put this one over the other side, and we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to just start building it up like this.
Pammy has said, I'm not a fan of real eggs, so I want an egg-shaped coconut cake decorated with yummy coconut and whipped frosting. Woo! That is sounding very coconutty.
Do you like coconut?
It depends in what form it is.
So I always think that when you have, you know, those big collections of chocolates that you get at Christmas that have various eggs, various chocolates in there, and there's always a coconut one.
Yep.
We fight over the coconut one in our house, whereas I think most people leave them. And in fact, when I was here at Christmas, there was loads of coconut ones left.
Yeah.
So I had a couple, and I quite like it when you like something that nobody else likes. That's always a bonus, I think.
I have formed true friendships over exactly that, because I think if you can share a whole box of chocolates together and neither of you are fighting for the same, that is a good enough basis for a friendship.
I totally agree with you. My husband really likes like a strawberry cream an orange cream,
Big fan.
which I don't like. They're the ones that I leave.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like those at all.
Oh, that's
I mean,
good.
well, I say leave. I mean, I'll eat them anyway.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Don't want to waste.
Well, do you know what I think? I think the other chocolates might feel a bit sad that they've lost some of their friends. So they're better off to all be in my tummy.
I will just remind you that you said I was very odd earlier on, and now I think, that's coming
Pot and
from
kettle.
her.
Okay, so we're just going to do the last bit over here, and this is how we build up the block.
Someone the other day when we were talking about Easter eggs messaged in, I can't remember if they were from America, but basically said that they don't really have big size Easter eggs. Whatever country. It might not have been America, so I do apologise if that's incorrect.
They don't?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
So you know how like our Easter eggs obviously are big and hollow. By the way, like an Easter egg average size, I'd say no one bothers with one that's less than full face size. Do you know what I mean? If you can put it next to your own head and it's smaller, that's basically for children. The bigger ones are for sort of adults, aren't they? But yeah, someone did message in and was like, wow, I didn't know you had huge eggs like that.
Oh. Because sometimes if you go to sort of like the big department stores up in town, you can get enormous ones, can't you? Like the size of a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Chocolate eggs. I've never had one of those, and it's probably a good thing.
Sorry, what an odd measurement. So yeah, your build block will be approximately an 8 by 8, and your eggs around the size of a 5-year-old. How bizarre.
It puts it into context.
Yeah.
I was watching a news article, and there was a hole that they discovered in a road, and the measurement they used was 3 washing machines.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, okay, I can
standard
visualise that.
measurement.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see how we're going to start building up. So we'll then go for the cream ones all the way around. We just keep building up in a circle until we've got it completely finished. And then it will look like this.
Oh, gorgeous.
So it looks really, if we compare that against the samples we've got with those bright colours, they look completely different. They really do, you know, from that very simple design, you can really get a different kind of feel to it. So that's the block we're going to work on. Now, I thought I'd try and make this into a little makeup brush bag. So what I've done is I've adhered it to some of my wadding or my batting, and I've also cut another piece exactly the same size for the lining. Now what I have done is I've used our fabric coat. So I'm just going to bring in the fabric coat that I used earlier on. So if you watched the show, oops, a little bit earlier.
Hey, Bob!
So somebody did message in and asked what, if you could have a signature, could you put the fabric coat on there? I have done this. Now I've used so Bob Geldof came in and he signed this little triangle of fabric for me.
Oh, was your blouse not available?
No.
No.
Well, I didn't want to, it takes a bit of time to dry and I'm wearing it, so I didn't think I'd want him signing any of my clothes.
Sensible.
So I just said, Bob, could you just sign this little scrap of fabric for me? And he obliged. And he's actually got a very legible signature.
Yeah,
I mean, last
yeah.
we thought it would just be, you know, it's very legible. And in fact, he does his B's a little bit like me.
That's unusual. Also, does he spell his last name wrong? Huh? I'm only joking. But I love how you instantly looked down.
I thought that's how you spelled it. Anyway,
It is. I'm just having you on.
He asked me how to spell his surname, and I told him that way. So I have only put one layer of the fabric coat over the top. Now, if you were you wanted to sort of keep hold of somebody's signature or some writing, I would suggest that you use a permanent marker, because as you're rubbing the fabric coat into the fabric, you do end up with a tiny little bit of blurring. But again, that could have just been because Bob was only here very quickly, signed it, and then I started using the fabric coat on.
Right.
So I've only put one layer on there. Now what I will do is when I get home, I'll put another layer on and I will wash it and we'll see how it comes up, and I'll pop it on my Facebook page so
Great.
you can see how it works. So this is the piece that I did earlier on today. So this has had one layer. You can hear it feels quite, you can hear it's sort of quite sticky. And it's definitely got a little bit more substance to it than the fabric before. So that's only got a single layer on it. The way we usually use the fabric coat is we would put 2 layers on initially with a 20-minute gap in between, and then your third layer that you put on, you would then leave it for 24 hours, and then you need to use an iron to heat set it. So I used, this is our applique sheet, so I used one of those for sort of working on, but then when I came to iron, I used one above and below, just to heat everything through. But very, very easy for you to use. You literally just sort of scrape it onto the fabric and just take off the excess by scraping it back into the container. So I've already done that on a couple of pieces of fabric. So I've done that here on some of this one here. Now you can see from the outside, you've got a little bit of residual fabric coat over here. So I'm going to trim this. Now this is going to form the flap that goes over the top of my brush holder, just to protect everything, to stop everything from getting mucky. So I'm going to start putting this together. So this is a 12-inch block here. So this forms the outside of my makeup bag. Now where I'm going to just make sure everything's all lined up.
Okay.
And I'm going to start stitching it together.
Do not forget to keep on sending in your excellent ideas. What style of egg, if any, you could have? Money be no objects. Maybe you'd make a crafting egg. Ooh, if so, what would the outside be made of? What would be inside it? Do feel free to let us know, including you, Superstar Rachel. Yeah, you. Message us in and let us know. We've already found out that Becky's is all about that bling and shine.
I'm sure everybody feels the same way. Don't you want a shiny, blingy kind of egg?
I'll be honest with you, if someone just gave me a Fabergé egg, I wouldn't be like, put it away, I don't want it. But I don't really fancy a Fabergé egg.
Do you not?
Nah, I'd be worried my dog would knock it over or drop it.
I do wonder what on earth I'd do with it. I have to be honest.
It's just a dust collector.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it?
Well, we're assuming we're going to be popping a Fabergé egg in our own homes and not actually putting it into a security vault.
Well, what's the point in having it there?
Well, exactly.
No one's going to look at it.
Yeah. That's why I've decided not to have one. I just think, where would I put it?
Well, don't say that, because I've got it on good authority. Your husband, after that very subtle hint, has just rushed out and bought you one.
I hope so. I hope so. Rather than, well, actually, what I'd rather he was doing was clearing up the garage, but as it is a bank holiday weekend, that is what he's supposed to be doing. Right, so I'm just going to give this a bit of a trim. Now, why can I not find my rotary cutter? So I'm just using our normal sort of fold-out ruler, and I'm using my small cutting mat here, and I'm using my rotary cutter. So I'm just going to trim off the edges that we don't need here, and then trim this piece of fabric-coated fabric down to the same size as my block. Trim that down there.
if you do want the fabric coats at the side of your screen, it's a buy one and get one for free. It is triple points on that and the fabric, and actually anything you can find on the website. Yep.
So you'll see now as I'm using this, it's much as I'm putting my ruler on it, it's moving around, it's moving the fabric because it's quite sticky. So just take that into consideration when you're trimming everything.
Perfect. Superstar Social Rachel has said, as long as it involves chocolate, I'm not that fussed. What kind of chocolate though? Dark chocolate, milk chocolate. We were talking about this with our bickies before. Remind me what type of chocolate you are?
I like white chocolate.
Yeah, I'm a white chocolate lover, which isn't chocolate.
No, but it's delicious. I mean, I don't really like dark chocolate, but obviously I will eat it if it's there. But if I've got a choice, it'll be milk or white.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be posh chocolate either. You know,
No.
I don't. If it's chocolate, I'll eat it. Yeah.
I think there is a cut-off point in like cocoa, you know, like the percentage that's in it.
Yeah.
You know, when you get like posh bars of chocolate that are like 70% cocoa.
Yeah.
You may as well just be chewing on a bit of dirt.
Yeah.
It's just, the texture of it's weird, it makes your face screw up, it's just dead. No, it's not for me.
I completely agree with you, and I think, you know, there's a bit of snobbery with chocolate, isn't there?
Sorry,
and,
what?
A bit of snobbery.
Oh, I honestly thought you said snoggery, as in like kissing.
No, a bit of snobbery with chocolate, and I just think, well, you know, okay, I like the sweet stuff.
Yeah, it's not as good for you.
No.
But
Is anyone eating chocolate because they think it's good for you? It's not kale. Or maybe someone would like a kale egg.
kale egg,
Yeah.
Delicious. Like crispy kale. Do you know what I wouldn't mind? You know, I don't know if I should give you this idea because you've got a really good in for this and you're quite clearly an egg thief idea. But you know how you get like at a Chinese restaurant seaweed?
Yeah.
Seaweed egg.
Yeah.
So the egg is made of dried seaweed.
Yeah.
Which isn't actually seaweed, is it, a lot of the time? Isn't it just a type of lettuce?
Yeah, it's cabbage.
Yeah, cabbage, that's it,
deep fried cabbage.
Yeah. So a deep fried egg, and then, like, as the inside, something like a soy sauce dip or a hoisin dip.
Or your crispy duck and your pancakes all inside.
Yeah, well, don't one up my idea, because then I know that you're just going to steal it.
Sorry.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. I've stolen that. So what I've got here is, this is the little flap that we're going to be using here, and this is the one that I've treated with the fabric coat. Now I'm just going to pin that over here, and I'm going to sew it across there. Now when I finish everything off, I'm going to be using some binding going around the edges, so this will all be hidden. But this way, this sort of flap folds over, so you can put all your other bits in here. So I'll pin that first of all. Now what I will do is, if you didn't watch the show earlier, when we were sewing with the fabric coated fabric, I did say it does stick a little bit with your sewing machine. And so the ideal thing would be to either use a Teflon coated machine foot, or you can just use some tissue paper. So I'm going to use some tissue paper for the moment. So I'm just going to quickly trim a piece off here. And that will just allow my machine to sort of go through the fabric nice and smoothly without it getting stuck. Just trim that there. And then we'll pop that here and just use some clips, and then I'm going to sew that piece together. I would never steal your ideas.
No, I know, I'm sure you wouldn't.
Have you seen the notification from Leanne? Apparently we're going to be doing Easter eggs soon.
You're mischievous. I have just had what I would possibly describe as my most intriguing message of the day.
Oh.
Because I can't tell if this is a fact, if this is just funny, if this is just someone, you know, being a bit sarcastic. I can't work it out. But Shadia, please step forward, because this message has blown my mind. If it's true, if it's made up, either way, but I need more backstory. Shadia's just dropped into the comments. I have a few Fabergé eggs. 2 are from the lovely Joan Rivers. Smiley face. Sorry, what?
Well, I need to see pictures of these.
No, I need all of the facts, all of the details. I love the casual smiley face just at the end, like, oh yeah. Also, I love the a few.
A few,
You know what I mean?
I don't even know how many I've got.
Yeah, I love that. How is this, Shadia? How come Joan Rivers? All of the detail. When did you get your first Fabergé egg? I need to know everything because that is. I just must know more. I must know more. Lots of people talking about their chocolate preferences as well now.
Oh, yeah.
Rachel, by the way, who said she doesn't mind what type of chocolate egg she has now changed her mind. She's actually gone, actually, I have changed my mind. I don't like really cheap milk chocolate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, I can understand really cheap, but I mean, surely you would eat it if there was nothing else. It might not be the first egg that you eat, but you'd still eat it anyway, wouldn't you?
You know, the only type of chocolate I really don't like that is quite like a cheap chocolate is when you get like an advent calendar that's not like a fiver, it's like £1.
Yeah.
And it's like got this sort of grittiness, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
No flavour, all grit in texture.
Yeah. Your tooth. Let's talk about the tooth feel, don't they? You know, when it goes into your mouth, or the mouth feel.
Right.
So if you eat chocolate that's really sort of smooth and silky, you've got a different kind of mouthfeel to other stuff that's a bit sort of gritty.
Oh, right. Oh, gosh.
Full of, like I say, full of useless information. I am.
I know, so scientific.
So I've done that piece, and I'm going to sort of put that out of the way. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put that piece here, and I'm going to actually lift up the lining. So I probably should have done this first, but it doesn't matter because I can show you this way of doing it. So I'm going to put that, so this is just attached to the lining, and this is where I'm going to stitch some lines down here in order to pop my makeup brushes, or you know, your pencils. So when I go on holiday, I always take a small crafty kind of kit, because you never know what you might. Well, I have all these ideas. I'm going to do some drawing, but I spend most of my time drinking rosé and eating bread.
Yeah.
But you know, I would have a little roll like this with my pencils in it that I take with me. So you could absolutely use this for all sorts of different things. So I'm just going to sew some lines going down here, and they will be the sort of places you would put your pens or your brushes.
News just in from Shadia. Yeah, I can send you a photo. Casual as you like.
Oh my
the answer
goodness.
to that, if it is a question, yes, please. That'd be epic.
And I love that question. Tell us, where did you first get your Fabergé egg from? It's almost like a blind date kind of question, isn't it?
Yeah. If I went on blind date and someone asked me that, though, I'd think, maybe I'm not your kind of person. Hello, by the way, to Jenny Briggs, who says, when it comes to chocolate, the darker the better.
Oh.
Where chocolate is concerned, it has to go in the fridge. Jenny?
See, there's a lot of arguments in our house about where the chocolate goes.
Go on.
Because I like the chocolate to be room temperature.
Right.
And my husband likes the chocolate to be cold.
Right.
So he always puts all my chocolates in the fridge, which I don't like.
I am a warm kind of person. So warm, in fact, I don't mind sharing this with you. We're all friends here.
Yeah.
If I get chocolate, I will sit on the chocolate when I'm waiting to eat it. So I'll make myself a brew. I'll then select the chocolates that I want, in the wrappers, obviously. Otherwise, that'd be weird. And then I'll sip on them. And sometimes I have been known to pop them into other items of clothing. And one time I was at work and forgot I'd put a piece of chocolate in said piece of clothing. And then when I was getting changed in the evening time, there was just a big sort of squidge of chocolate in its wrapper.
Please remind me never to accept a chocolate from you, because I don't know where it's been.
I love it, I do. Because I think when you put it in your mouth, you don't have to wait for it to warm up, do you? It cuts the time out. Just me?
Yeah. I feel the same with toffee. If I have toffee, I like to put the toffee in my pocket, so it softens a little bit.
Right.
But not chocolate.
No.
I think it's just you with the chocolate.
You're trying to tell me you've never popped a chocolate down your top just to warm it up a bit?
No.
All right, fine.
I mean, occasionally I might find some chocolate down my top, but I've not done it deliberately. So you can see I've done a few little strips of sewing down here. Oh, that'll go in there. So you can see how your bits and pieces will then go into all of these little sections. So you could do this as a makeup bag, or just putting your tools in, all those sorts of things. So then we're going to carry on putting the rest of it together. So this flap will then come over and protect anything in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some more of my fabric, and I'm going to sew this around the edge of my, what's this called? Makeup bag. What's it called? What's happening today? Can't quite remember.
Softer side.
That's right.
Still, yeah.
So I've just done a few sort of strips, and I've folded them in half and given them an iron. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew them like this, down this part here, and then fold them over, and then sort of seal off each of the sides. So I'm going to do that with all of them. Now with this piece here, because we've got this, when we open it all up, we've got this sort of flap here, I'm going to run that strip all the way down here. So that piece will be binded as well, so it will all fold over and it will all look nice and tidy.
Okay, I get you. Hello to Mary Pat saying, I am totally milk chocolate fan, with white chocolate second and absolutely no dark chocolate. Any dark chocolate is given directly to my hubby. See?
They're good for something then.
Yeah, that and cleaning out garages apparently. Also, Jenny is saying, our uncle used to buy us Easter eggs just wrapped in foil, and they were my favourite chocolate. Jenny, I don't disagree with you there at all. There is something about Easter egg chocolate, and I personally think it's to do with the thinness of it. Do you know what I mean? That is just, it's just the best.
Well, I said before, I like moulded chocolate, and you thought I said mouldy chocolate.
Mouldy chocolate, yeah.
Moulded chocolate, because I like chocolate in a shape. I mean, obviously, I'd eat chocolate in any kind of sort of way, shape or form, but chocolate in a shape, I think there's something exciting about it. So I always think chocolate Easter eggs. And I think you're right, there's that crispness that you get with the chocolate when it's really thin.
Yeah. But that, again, plays into my melting point of chocolate. The thinner the chocolate, the less you have to sit on it to warm it for appropriate eating. By the way, Carryall, when I was talking about popping chocolates down your top to warm them up or sitting on them, she's done an "Oh Becky" laughy smiley face, which I think means Carryall does the exact same thing. I think you're on board. I bet she's there right now with a
sitting on her chocolate.
Yes, sat on a truffle. Maybe not.
So I'm going to give that a quick iron here. Should really use my ironing board. And then I'm going to fold that over just to here. And obviously, if I was doing this at home and I had loads of time, I'd be taking more time over this.
Of course,
and I'd probably been stitching it by hand just to finish it off. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to sew with my machine around here.
Lily said, I am a, capital letters, total dark chocolate fan. Love. I also enjoy white chocolate, and will eat milk chocolate, but it's my least favourite of them all. Clearly I like chocolate, but give me dark chocolate all the way. I love that. Lily's put them in order and has gone, it's my least favourite. I would definitely still eat it. Lily, I love that. Thanks very much. I think... yeah, no mind to go white chocolate, milk chocolate, dark, most certainly.
We haven't had anyone saying that they don't like chocolate so far.
That's true. That is true.
There are some people, aren't there, that they just sort of say, oh, I don't really like chocolate.
Yeah, and that's why they're all my best friends.
I don't have any of them as friends.
No. Oh, no, I do, because then whenever they get chocolate, I'm the first port of call. So
we're just sewing around here.
How many layers is that sewing through right now? Is that like 2-3 layers?
1, 2, 3, about 5 or 6 layers I'm going through actually, because it's all folded over. So it's taking a bit of time to go through.
Carol would like to clarify that she wasn't laughing because she too is a chocolate sitter.
Oh.
She says, I don't sit on chocolate. I just found that really amusing and thought if Becky is happy doing that, let her. Well, thank you. Thank you, Carol, I really do appreciate this. And I think give it a go at home, especially on like truffles. Oh, yeah. Honestly, it will change your life.
And do you sit on something soft when you're doing this?
Oh yeah.
Do you know, I'm never going to invite you over to my...
Why are you asking silly questions?
Well, because if you're sitting on hard surfaces, that's going to put more pressure on your chocolate.
Yeah, no, I'm talking... That's the thing, isn't it? If you're at home on the sofa, that's prime. That's prime time, that is. But if you are, for example, I don't know, on the bus, and it's not a soft surface...
Oh, please don't tell me you sit on chocolate on the bus. I mean, that's just terrible.
Depends how long the coach journey is. I've definitely done it. I've done it on planes and everything. I don't see the problem.
Do you have any friends who've got white sofa?
I'm sorry, I thought that was the end of your question.
No, do you have any friends that have white sofas? Do they invite you over? Because if I had a white sofa, I wouldn't invite you over.
Well,
because I'd have to frisk you as you came in to make sure you didn't have any chocolate in your pockets.
No, I don't have any friends with white sofas, so it's never been a problem.
If you are one of Becky's friends and you're thinking about getting a sofa, get a chocolate brown one, just in case she comes round. Okay, so I'm just going to start I'm going to put these other pieces here. So I'm doing them in exactly the same way as I've done the other part around here. So that's how we're going to put it together. And then when we put the flap and we have all the things here, we can then roll up the little, what's it called? I can't remember what the word is. The makeup roll or the tool roll or whatever you're going to be doing. So that's going to be your outside, but you're obviously only going to be seeing, well, you might only see half of that depending on how many tools and bits and pieces you're putting inside. So I'll just continue putting this together whilst my brain is in a bit of a whir because I'm thinking about all that chocolate that's been sat upon on planes.
Can I ask you a question? What's your opinion on Marmite?
I don't like it.
Yeah, well, you're definitely not going to like Helen's message. Helen has said, I bought my daughter the Marmite Easter egg.
I didn't know there was one, and my husband loves Marmite.
Really?
But is it Marmite, that Marmite chocolate that they do?
Well, apparently, chocolate and Marmite don't go.
Oh, do they not?
Says Helen. Yeah, that's Helen's opinion. So is it Marmite and chocolate then? Must be.
They did do a Marmite chocolate in a bar,
right?
Which I thought
maybe
was
it's that then.
Just wrong.
I feel like that might work though, because Marmite's quite salty, and I don't mind like salted caramel chocolate and stuff like that.
I think Marmite chocolate. I mean, that just seems a little bit weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I don't know.
Hello to Charlotte, who's on YouTube. Hi, Charlotte, saying I love the fabric. Fabulous, isn't it? And just to let you know that the fabric is available by the half metre. Some of them are really low in stock. So like the last checkup we did on one of them, there was less than 5 available. It might be gone, to be honest, by now. We've not clicked refresh in a while. But I would say do seize the moment. And don't forget, it's triple points on the fabrics and more today. So well worth treating yourself if you do fancy it. Hello as well to Laura May, who's on YouTube, saying, I love the pineapple builder block. I wanted it so much, I ordered it, and then forgot I ordered it, and ordered another before the first one came. Oh, Laura, that's hilarious. Well, congratulations that you've now got your hands on them. And, yeah, they are a gorgeous one, the pineapples, aren't they?
They are.
It is a really nice builder block.
So probably only just do one side. So you can see where I've been sewing the piece that I put the fabric coat, I used some more of that tissue paper just to allow it to go through. So you just peel it away once you've sewn everything together.
That's a great tip, that is really useful. And we've all got, if you've got any of the sort of boxes that we do here, then you can have loads of that lovely tissue paper.
Well, because when I was sort of putting it all together, and I was looking for a Teflon foot on my machine, which I didn't seem to have, and I thought, well, most people won't have one. So, you know, the option is putting a piece of sellotape or, you know, sort of sticky tape that's got a sort of shiny surface. So not the tape that we have, our low tack tape. It's probably not sort of shiny enough.
I see what you mean, yeah.
You need to have something with that's going to sort of give a little bit of a glide.
Yeah.
But you could certainly, you know, if you use some other kind of tape and you put that on the underside of your machine foot, that works as an option.
Yeah.
But the tissue paper seems to be a little bit more reliable, to be honest.
That's a really good tip. I do like that.
And like I said, that's a tip for a new product that we're going to have coming out very soon.
What would you call it?
What, my new product?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe I could come up with the idea and then I'll pitch it first.
What, then I could take it and say, pretend it's mine? I don't know what I'd call it, actually. I don't know. I have to come up with a good idea, but it's very nice. I'm just gonna give you that little bit of a warning. It is
right.
a really cool product.
Right.
Coming out
Love
soon.
it. Maybe I can write that on the packaging.
Becky says this is a really cool product.
Yeah.
That'll make it sell. Everybody will want it then.
And by the way, Helen, who bought her daughter the Marmite egg, has said that I've not actually tried the bar of Marmite chocolate, but I am a Marmite lover, says Helen.
Okay.
But by all accounts, the combo's just not very good.
Yeah, I mean, Marmite is such a strong taste, isn't it?
Yeah.
That would be the thing that would put me off. I mean, I don't particularly like Marmite. I like the little crisps that you get with Marmite.
Twiglets?
Twiglets, yeah. I like a twiglet.
Right.
But I don't like Marmite. But I always think that's related to whether you drink coffee or not. If you drink a coffee, you're looking at me as if I'm mad again.
That's my go-to default face when it comes to you, Becky.
Well, I always think, because coffee is such a strong taste.
Yes, it is.
And often you find people that drink coffee like Marmite as well, because it's a strong taste.
Ah, that makes sense. I can understand that.
Because do you like Marmite?
I can...
And you like strong coffee?
Yeah, I do.
So...
By the way, very good coffee you made me before.
That's all right.
I'm going to be honest.
The best coffee you've ever had?
No.
Oh.
But it is better than John's.
Oh.
Yeah, better than John's.
Oh, he's not going to be very happy with you next time he comes in, is he? I've stolen John's
crown
accolade of being the best coffee maker.
What happened to your crown, by the way? For those of you who's not in the know, a few weeks ago, Becky was walking around with a crown on for the whole show. Where's it gone?
Well, yeah, the next day I went to a party.
Right.
And well, I wore the crown the whole time on the way home on the train.
Right.
And you know, people on the train it was fine. It was on the tube. Well, no, that's not true. On the train, everyone kept glaring at me. But when I got on the tube, no one cared.
Yeah,
because I think everyone was sort of quite used to seeing people wearing something crazy on the tube.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know where it is actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's bad, isn't it? I've lost my crown.
So, did you wear it? You wore it to the party?
I didn't wear it to the party.
Right. So you thought about it?
We went to it was the Oxford-Cambridge boat race.
Right.
So we went to a boat race party, and we did a little. There's always do a little sweepstake to see who's going to win. And my father-in-law actually won the sweepstake.
Oh, brilliant!
He donated it all to charity. To charity.
Charity.
And all the grandchildren were really upset because they were hoping they were going to get some money from him, but they didn't.
Right.
Somewhat devastated, I think, is the term that my daughter used.
Wow.
Makes all sorts. So we're going to carry on putting it all together like so, but you can get the idea. So we've got the outside here, which is your main block. Then we've got these pieces that go around the edge to finish it off. Then on the inside, you've got this flap that comes down, and that is there to protect your equipment. It would just hold everything in there. So whilst it doesn't need to be using the fabric coat, if you're going to be using something like pencils or makeup brushes, you don't want them making everything grubby, so you can put everything there. And I've sewn little strips of stitching all the way down, so you've got little places here. So that would then fold up, and then you would then roll up your, like this, like that. And then I've got a little, just a little ribbon that will go around the outside to finish it off.
Brilliant, Becky, thank you so much for showing us that. Isn't that fantastic?
I mean, it's a good way of using, if you're going to be using the builder blocks and you don't really know what to do with your blocks, there are only so many cushions, apparently, you can have in your house. I think you could have as many cushions as there are days of the week or days of the year, but I've been told you can't have any more cushions. So I thought it was just a good way of being able to use the builder block, and you can see how quickly that comes together, but being able to use a block to make something that you can actually sort of get some use out of.
We adore it, Becky. Thank you so much. I will just show you and remind you some of the other elements that you could create with this. This is using that exact same block. And that as well is for this instance. And actually, when I was looking at this, I'm thinking I've got like benches outside my house. If I used like some of the wonderful fabric coat on this, that would be kind of cool for a little outdoor thing, wouldn't it? As it's so lovely and long in its detail. And one that I haven't shown you yet, ta-da! Look at that as a cushion. Isn't that fabulous? So again, showing you how wonderful colours. And by the way, if you do need colours, I'm going to bring you some shortly. But yeah, if you do want to seize the moment on this, let me remind you what you're getting. It is this fantabulous block that we have got here for you, which is your pineapple design. All of the dies here you will get included, and you will be able to cut within a matter of moments. You've got some 6 inches, 8 inches and up to 12 inches. These are the blocks that will be made with this, so you can really have kind of whatever size you want. Today it is 70% discount, which is ace, isn't it? So if you do want the moment, seize the moment on this one, then absolutely do. It is a beauty of a deal. And just a reminder, it is triple points. So let's go next to my templates. So if you do want to create, I'm just going to grab this again, some beautiful big bold designs such as this, one way that you might be able to do it is by getting your fabric rolls. So let me just tell you what you're going to be getting with this. First off, the template. So every single person, depending on what order you buy this in, will get the template. And then you will also get some fabric with it as well. So let me just show you. I've dropped the pretty pinks, the only one I've dropped. The pretty pinks I've got for you here. So just to show you some of the colours as you're getting these off, you've got these kind of hues here, as well as these kind of hues, all locked within this roll. So these are lovely long pieces that you're going to be getting. They're great to be able to use with something like this, and that is option that is on your screen right now for your mini patchwork templates. I've then got for you ocean waves. So the ocean waves with these sort of tealy aqueous colours that we've got on here, really nice detail and design, and a really nice way of getting it as well if you do love your big bold colours such as this, because of course you can use this for many different styles of designs. So there's that one. Your other option is your brilliant blues, and there is loads of different shades of blue within this, again, as you can see. The fabric blue strip roll that you're getting your hands on here, saving 20% in total on that. And also we have got the glorious greens as well. So for anybody who loves these kind of green hues, I'll just show you on here to give you an idea, these are the kind of greens that you're getting within here, amongst others, then that is the one for you. So everyone comes with the template, you just pick which colour option you want. And at the price today, it's well worth doing because obviously you're saving a big percentage on that one too. So well worth treating yourself. Let me bring to you Patchwork Die Collection now, if I may. Now, I will just let you know that this is a brilliant collection for any of you who love patchwork, but also actually really nice for anyone who's maybe not got around to trying it out yet for one reason or another. So, these, as always, will run perfectly through your die cutting machine. You get 2 with each, just to give you an idea. And you are getting the multiple different shapes in this. So we're bringing to you the lovely apple core shape. I have got for you your diamond shape. And I've got for you, as well as that, the clamshell shape, we call this, don't we, generally? Yeah. So we've got all of those ones within there, and again 2 different ones in each of them to give you an idea of that. And the types of patterns you can make are epic, aren't they, Becky?
They are. This is an example of the apple core. Now, this is slightly larger than the actual dies that we've got there, but just to show you actually on the screen, because it's quite difficult to see when you've got something really tiny. But you can see how you can make really beautiful designs. And once again, because you're using the our dies, they're cutting out exactly the way they're supposed to. They're cutting out with the seam allowance, and it makes it nice and easy in order for you to start making something. So I'm not going to be using the apple core one. I'm going to use the diamond, and I'm going to make, everything's about transportation today. So I'm going to be making something for transportation of your chopsticks.
Brilliant.
So I don't know if you're like me, but I like a packet of crisps, but I don't like my hands getting mucky. And so I like to eat my crisps with chopsticks.
Yes.
So, and actually, if you try it, you will realise actually it's a total life hack as far as I'm concerned.
I think that's a really, really good one.
Yeah,
That
especially if you're eating like really sort of kind of cheesy crisps.
Yeah, you don't want orange fingers, do you?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't want that at all. So I'm just going to fold up my fabric here. So I'm using, I've used up all my strip rolls when I was putting everything together, but this is effectively the size of your strip roll anyway. So these are the colours that you get in that, that pink strip roll. So I'm just going to fold this over, and then I'm going to run it through the die cutting machine in order to cut those out. So with these, we say you could do 8 layers of fabric. So let's give it a whirl. I'm going to pop that just there, and then I'll pop it through the machine. So I'm using my clear plate, my fabric plate, pop my, oops, it's folded over, pop my fabric and my die facing down, the other fabric plate on the top, and then my clear plate on the other side, and run it through. Now obviously with these small dies, you could fit these very easily on any of your other smaller machines.
Ah, yeah.
And obviously cutting out all the different shapes all in one go, which would make everything a lot easier. So here we have all of those perfectly cut out, and then we can start putting everything together. So let's grab some that I did earlier on. So I've cut out some others with other pieces, other colours from that, was it Lovely Pinks or Pretty Pinks?
The pink,
Pretty
Pretty
Pinks.
Pink collection.
So I've sewn those together. So with these, you've got your seam allowance, but what you do need to take into account is them being slightly offset when you put them together. So you could put your shapes together like so.
Yeah.
But I wanted to put my shapes like that.
Okay.
In a line. But if you can imagine, if I turn these, so they're sort of right sides together to sew, I just need to, they're going to look sort of slightly off centre or slightly off because of the way the angles are.
Yeah.
But that is correct. That's how you want them to look. And then we're just going to sew along here with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So when it comes, it's been stitched together and you open it up, they will look like this.
Perfect.
With the lines going across here. So the way I did them is I sewed 2 at a time together. So I'd put 2 together and then chain stitch them. So you're sewing 2 and then you're continuing with the next 2. So you're not sort of stopping and starting in between each of your sewing, each item that you've sewn together. And then I trimmed them all off and then I sewed the 2s together to make 4s, and I gradually built them up until I got a piece the right size, the right length.
Okay.
So when you put them all together, that's sort of how they will look. So I've got some with,
that's cool.
I just sort of did all sorts of different sort of sizes and strips. So you can see how pretty they look.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready you've got your strip the right size, you want to sew each strip together. And you literally just, you can either offset them if you wanted to, or you could match them up. It's entirely up to you. And you just put right sides together and then go sew with your 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and then give them an iron. So that's how you would put those together. Now, I thought, as I said, it'd be quite nice to make a chopstick carrier.
Right, yeah.
Because, you know, everyone needs a chopstick carrier. So I put a piece of this down the side, down the bottom of my chopstick carrier. Now I'm hoping that this is going to work. So you could use this for all sorts of different things. You could use this for knitting needles or you know, paint brushes. Again, it works like a bit like a roll, like we did with the makeup.
Yeah.
But we're just going to have
like a smaller, thinner version.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I've also sewn a strip here. This is going to be the piece that sort of ties around. And I've cut my 2 pieces of fabric that are basically this kind of almost like a tent shape. It's almost like a marquee. And I've just made this up. So I've just worked out roughly how it's going to work.
Okay.
You know what I'm like? I always like winging these things, don't I? Yeah? Let's see how it's going to go. So we're going to put this, so this is going to be the back outside part of the chopstick wrap, and this is going to be the lining on the inside. So I've put them this way. So this is the outside here, and then we've got the lining here. And just at the top, I've popped the piece of the this is the string, the ribbon that goes around the outside. I'm going to pop that in between here. So I'm just going to pin that in here. Then when I sew everything together, it will definitely work and be in the right place.
Perfect.
So pin.
Speaking of chopsticks, actually I've just thought of another good savoury egg idea.
You're full of them today, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the large outer egg is actually just one egg-shaped prawn cracker.
Ooh.
Yeah?
Nice.
And then again, inside some form of dip. I am not afraid of wasabi soy sauce. Also big fan of a sweet chili sauce as well.
Yeah. I'm with you on those. I like that idea. Yeah.
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 Well, I thought.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, on my way home, I'm going to be registering all these ideas. But it's okay. I will give you credit. I will say that I'll call them Becky's eggs.
Oh, you're a mischief maker, you.
Right, so I'm going to sew all the way around here, and I'm going to leave a little gap here. And then when I turn everything out the right way, it will all work. I say.
Good question in from my producer, Johnny. How would you package the prawn cracker egg? Gently. But also just foil in a box.
To be honest, they say to me they're an item that you would have in a restaurant as a special thing, so you wouldn't want to package them. You would want somebody to bring them out on a tray filled with dry ice and, you know, some kind of...
So you're going restaurant, whereas I'm going more, you know, the everyday people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You sort of, I'm thinking more your 99p store, you know?
No, I'm not. I'm thinking, you know, it's going to be like a...
Do you know what? I think that sums us up beautifully. I'm here chatting about Dorito eggs and you're over there like, I wouldn't mind a Fabergé, I suppose, yeah. That's one when I was younger. Oh, hey up, don't forget, we need to look at if lovely Shaddy has sent in her picture of the Fabergé. She hasn't yet, apparently. Maybe she's doing a little sort of
Maybe she's giving them a
design.
dust.
Pardon?
She might be giving them a dust.
I don't know, Shaddy doesn't strike me as the type to have a dusty Fabergé egg. No, I reckon she's doing some sort of scene with them.
Back in the 90s, when I was young,
Yeah.
there used to be a fashion for making and decorating plastic eggs, almost like kind of Fabergé eggs. There was a couple of sort of craft companies that were doing something like that.
Right.
Where you could buy all like the embellishments, and you'd buy sort of a plastic egg to decorate for those people that didn't have a real Fabergé egg.
Yeah. That
which is
sounds cool.
possibly many people.
That's a good idea, that.
Yeah.
Mary Pat has said, oh, I do need some chopstick carriers for the beautiful chopsticks I built during my trip to Japan.
Oh.
Loving this demo, Becky.
Ah.
Oh, Mary Pat, that sounds incredible, Japan. Absolutely amazing. So obviously, for anyone who doesn't know, Becky, you've got sort of Asian heritage, haven't you?
Yeah,
Have you ever been to Japan?
No, I haven't.
Never.
I would love to go to Japan. So my grandfather was Chinese, and so yeah, I mean it's. We don't look Chinese. So when we go to a restaurant, you know, people say, "Oh, do you want chopsticks?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course," because I forget that I don't actually look Chinese. So obviously they're just being helpful and asking if you want chopsticks.
Yeah.
But I can't remember ever there being a time when I couldn't use chopsticks, because it was just, you know, what you do.
Norm.
Yeah. And I don't use them for cooking, but actually when you watch some videos when people are making
like stir fries
omelettes and stuff like that, and using chopsticks, and actually it's really quite handy using them. There's no reason why we shouldn't use them more. And particularly for things like crisps, I think they're really good, especially because it just makes everything easier. You don't get, you know, mucky hands, and you know, just try and be clean.
You can't get the little rogue crisps at the bottom of a packet with them, can you?
You just open the packet and then just...
Right, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
You're a pourer of the crumbs. Yeah, I knew it.
You can't leave the crumbs. Once again, you know, the rest of the crisps that you're eating will be upset because they're missing their friends.
Yeah, you're so thoughtful when it comes to food.
Well, I don't want food to be upset, you know.
No.
Missing. It's like if you drop a piece of food on the floor, and it's almost like your tummy goes, "Oh, I was waiting for that."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I reckon anyway.
Just considerate, Becky, they call her. They really do.
So I've sewn that all round, and I've turned it inside out. Now, ideally, I would give this a little top stitch all the way around the outside, and obviously then cover up this or stitch this little gap together. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this like so, and then I'm just going to stitch on either side, and then my chopsticks will then pop in there and then roll up.
That's so cute.
So I'm just going to fold that over.
Oh, you know how fabulous our wonderful audience are at home and how many great ideas they have. They're coming through thick and fast. Pammy said, I bet this project would work well for jewelled hair sticks. Ooh. My daughter has some lovely ones from our trip to the Renaissance Fair as a child. That's a great idea. Yeah, like jewelled hair. That's a great idea, isn't it? Mm. And it keep them safe, and they're not going to be sort of in harm's way of dust and all of the rest of it. But also, if you take them on holiday, they're not going to be rifling up against, you know, all of your sort of toiletries and all the rest of it. So that is a great one. Sarah's also said the little bag would be great for carrying metal straws.
Yeah, that's another good thing, because I think, you know, now you know, lots of people are going for metal straws or bamboo straws, aren't they, when they go out?
Yeah.
And you want to, you know, you want to make sure that they don't, you kept them nice and clean.
Absolutely. And do you know what? If you were going to do straws, Fabrico would be perfect for it, because if, you know, you finish your drink and there's still a few little drops in it or whatever, and you pop it in, it's not going to stain it. You can just wipe it off again, because this is your waterproof seal. So I think that's a really good idea, Sarah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just stitching up either side. So this is the bit. Now, if I've given it a bit of a press, it would be a little bit easier to stitch, but I'm not going to do that today because I haven't got the time. almost looks like a little hat, doesn't it?
Yeah,
One of
like
those
wee
little
willy
hats.
winky.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
I'm
Andy Pandy.
going to pop my chopsticks in there, and they fit perfectly. It's like I've planned it, and then I can roll that up, and then just do this, and then I've got a little place to put my chopsticks
That's
when I go out.
That is brilliant. And actually, I think that's so pretty that you could make several of those and they could actually be like your table setting at home for chopsticks and things like that.
Yeah.
That is beautiful, Becky. Another fabulous make, right? If you do want to seize the moment because you have been inspired, let me remind you, that is just one of the 3 main shapes you get within this collection. So for your So Homemade patchwork dies, you have got these different shapes. This is the one that Becky has just worked with. You get in 2 different sizes on them as well, just as a reminder there. So if you do want to seize the moment, now is your chance. I'll give you the size on these ones to give you an idea. You've got 2 inches by 1.7 inches all the way up to 2.6 inches by 2.2 inches. So those are your different sizes that you're getting on that one. But again, lots of different design opportunities with these. So do seize the moment. And if you did want the colours that Becky's worked with, it was from the pink collection that came with those templates, just so you know. So well done to you. Hey, and don't forget, it's triple points as well today, isn't it? So if you like saving money in the long run, how about you treat yourself to some of our goodies on the website? If you're thinking, hang on, I fancy triple points, but how do I get involved? Have a little watch of this.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Take all the hard work out of patchwork with the Gemini Build-A-Block Patchwork System. This innovative collection of multimedia dies allows you to create patchwork blocks with ease and total accuracy. This set includes 18 dies to cut a range of shapes and sizes for patchwork or quilting projects. They can cut multiple layers of fabric at once. They include an accurate 1/4 inch seam allowance, plus all of your pieces are cut exactly the same size every time. Follow your own creative inspiration or look through the 20 patterns laid out in the guide. Not enough? There's an additional 60 patterns online. And right now, we have amazing offers on the Gemini Build-A-Block Patchwork System. Quick Buy, get yours now. Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us, You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Welcome back, crafters. It's lovely to have you with us. I hope your Good Friday is not just a Good Friday, it's a great Friday. And if your Good Friday could get better by becoming a great Friday with bargains, then you are in the right place, because I'm about to save you a stitch. We have got triple points on today, remember, even on these fabulous deals. Now, this is our Carryall bag. Now, if you've not seen this before, obviously it's threaders by our wonderful selves here at Crafters Companion. It's great for carrying some things that are inside it. However, I would also say, if you are the likes of a paper crafter, you can use both of these elements, especially if you've got kind of, portfolio bags and things like that you need. This is a great one. So first things first, it's called a Carryall bag because, quite frankly, it's huge. We have got for you, floating head. We have got for you I'm going to try and stand on my toes because I'm well aware I look like I've got no clothes on if I do that. We have got for you, nude. We have got for you this wonderful Mahusive bag. You've got your handle on here too, and it really is created so that it is super duper sturdy. You've also got your zipper pocket at the front here, but in this deal today, it also comes with the Junior Shape Creator. So this, again, although it is kind of designed for your fabrics, you can use this with paper, you can use this with cards. If you've got a rotary cutter that you use just with cards and papers, happy days, you can absolutely use this to create angles, to create lovely straight lines and designs. This Junior Shape Creator will create loads of different shapes, including, but not limited to, circles, square diamonds, hexagonal shapes. So yeah, there's loads that you can do with that one. So it is the Carryall with that creator as well. Check out that saving you've got there, and don't forget, it is also triple points in here as well for you today. So that's worth seizing the moment on if you so wish. So we've also got on the Sabre Stitch today our miter tool with a free tool as well. So this is with your free binding tool. Now, this is going to give you nice, clean, crisp corners. For anyone who's never seen these before, Becky, maybe someone's quite new to this world, what do you adore about these the most?
Well, I just thought I'd try and see if I got a sample here of a mitered corner, because some people might not know what a mitered corner is. So you can see here, a mitered corner is when you have an angle on your corner. So if you were going to be finishing off this piece of quilting around the binding, if you were going to be doing it just sort of as a straight edge, you would end up with one piece of fabric over here and one piece of fabric over here. But if you wanted a mitered edge, this gives you this angle here. Now with the tool, you can have all sorts of different angled miter edges. So obviously with here, this is a square quilt, so it's a right angle. But you may have something that goes into a point, like a star, that you want to have a mitered corner to. And that tool will ensure that you get the right angle for that. So really, really useful, and used in conjunction with the binding tool as well. It just makes all these little things very, very quick. Now, previously we'd had somebody that asked why I didn't use miter corners when I was making my projects. Simply on the show, it's just because it's quicker in order for me to try and finish everything off. If I was going to be doing stuff at home, I would try and have a mitered corner wherever I can, because it just looks a little bit more professional and it gives a nice crisp finish.
Absolutely, and as you can see here, it is that thing that with the right tool, it doesn't take you as much time, but you know you can get it right each time. So again, these are just some ideas of the types of corners you might have, and then you've got the binding tool as well, saving 35% today. So you can grab that one whilst you can. let's do some decorative panels. And I love these so much. Do you know what? I've still not managed to get my hands on them yet, and I really do need to, because I just keep mentioning it and saying, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. These dies are multimedia dies. Can you use them on paper, cardstock, etc.? Yes, but you can also use them on the likes of sort of leathers, corks, and so much more, because they are the multimedia dies. Now, what these do is cut out a beautiful pattern all in one that I think is fabulous for things such as upcycling, as well as creating really elegant designs on pieces. Now, the reason I say upcycling is because, I'll be honest, the amount of handbags and clothes that I have that I've dropped something on that I just can't get out is ridiculous. One of my favourite play suits that I've ever bought, not the most expensive thing I've ever bought, but one of my favourites. I wore once, dropped nail varnish on it, and then I've never worn it since. But it is a really, really thick sort of denim fabric, and I keep thinking I need to treat myself to one of these to do like a little cut-out panel, take away that nail varnish, and then back it with something else. You could cut this into so many different things. You see it here on the handbag. It looks just wonderful. You're getting the two designs here, as you can see, and with it, you're getting our cork. Now, this cork is not like kind of your cork board, you know, that you might use for a cork board in like stationery collection. It is actually a sort of malleable fabric that you've got here. And check this out, it's got the wonderful flecks of the silver running through this. You get absolutely oodles in there. Today, that is a sensational discount deal, considering you're getting all of that. And there are some stunning designs you can make with this, isn't there, Becky?
There are, absolutely, and I've got a few samples here, and actually I've managed to find one that was using the cork as well. And really effective, very simple bag that we've got here, but just by using the panel on the top here, that makes it look really quite spectacular. So there's loads of different options you could do with this, but they really do lend themselves to bags. So you've got this one here, this is using some of the leatherette fabric, the faux leather. Looks really effective as well. And then we've got some using some of the sort of sparkly sort of glitter fabric that we've had on the shows before. But yeah, absolutely, you could definitely use this for paper crafting as well. And actually, this would look really good if you were going to be wrapping presents, and then you had this as like a belly band around the presents, just in a different fabric or a different colour. That would look really good. Maybe on some very thick, wide ribbon.
Great idea. Nice as well, actually, to make your own stencils out of.
Yeah.
So we've got all of that, and it comes with that wonderful deep blue cork. That's not all I've got on Save a Stitch for you today, though. I have also got for you a massive amount of your Gemini Patchwork dies. Now, this is a really lovely collection, more sizable than the dies I brought to you earlier on. Just to give you an idea, I read through the sizes of some of the dies earlier, didn't I? And I was saying that the smallest is around about 1.7 inches in one direction. Actually, with these ones, you were going up to 7.7 inches in some of these shapes. So just to bear that in mind. So we have got the 4 different shapes, which you can see can create elegant, eye-catching designs. So that one you've got is the orange peel shape. I have also got in here for you the Dresden shape. This is one of my favourites. I think it's fantastic because it, to me, almost looks like a beautiful large daisy design, depending on how you use this. And don't forget, there's lots of different directions you can use them. And then there's this one, which we showed you, Becky showed you a little bit earlier on, that fabulous cushion was created using one of these sizes, wasn't it, Becky?
It was, yeah. So where we had the smaller patchwork dies earlier on today, this one's actually made with these ones we've got on the show here. And it does make everything very easy because you've got, when you cut out curves and you're trying to do them by hand, it's really, really tough to make sure that they are in the right place. And obviously you could then, this would have been probably, you know, you're just 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one of those colours of fabrics would have been one pass through the machine. Obviously, you're using all the same size apple core templates or dies here. So you probably only find that you're running that through your die cutting machine maybe 4 or 5 times. There's many different designs of fabric, so really quick for you to cut everything out that you need to make this kind of cushion.
That's a lovely one, really pretty. So if you do want to seize the moment to be able to recreate something like that, here are your collection. And have you seen that saving? 60% off the price of this. So if you do want to seize the moment, absolutely go for it. Remembering triple points for you today. Have you seen that price if you're platinum? That's good, isn't it? So that is that selection. Let me bring you one more Saver Stitch deal, which is one of those tools that, although we're putting it into your sort of soft craft time, there is nothing stopping you using this for a fabulous array of your paper crafting tools. So what I have here for you is an element which has got sort of a rubber-esque feel to it. You can see very, very malleable and mouldable, but it's perfect for keeping lots of things in place. So if I wanted to keep my tool in the can, if I've got a pen I want to keep in a nice place, if I wanted to keep my paintbrushes in here, my scissors in here, my tweezers in here, I absolutely can. And one thing I will mention too is if you've got a ditto bag, these are great for the side pockets of your ditto bag. So they just slot in really, really nicely and you can keep everything as it needs to be. And because it's rubberized, it means that it's not damaging anything or making anything kind of, you know, bad. It works really, really well. So there is absolutely loads you can do with these. The fact of the matter is it is a buy one, get one free deal for you today. So lovely if you do want to keep any of your sort of stationery nice and tidy. Even actually if kind of, you know, you had like a kids craft area, you want to give them all nice, clean, neat areas, then you absolutely can use that. These are really handy too, aren't they?
They are, and because of the way that they're produced, it means they're quite easy to clean, because I've done the same thing when I put a pen or something in there and it's leaked or you spilt something and you can never quite clean everything out.
Yeah.
You can take all those sort of silicone pieces apart and give it a good clean. So they're really handy for you to have on your desk while you're working. I mean, perhaps you're drawing with pencils and you want to keep all of your pencils to hand that you're actually using. That's a perfect option for you to use.
Perfect idea. So if you do want to seize the moment and keep things nice, clean and tidy, here is your chance to do it again. Half price deal for you. We have got just enough time to squeeze in another demo with Becky. What are we going to be looking at next, Becky?
Well, I said it's all about storage or transportation.
Yes.
I'm going to make an egg holder.
Yes. Now, when you mentioned this earlier on, I thought, I don't understand what that is. Could you explain to me what you mean by an egg holder?
No, I'm going to show you.
Oh, I love it. Yes, Becky.
So what I'm going to do, I'm hoping it will work. It will work. I'm using some different techniques and different products, but it'll be absolutely fine. So what I'm actually going to be using today is our mini patchwork templates. So not everybody's got a die cutting machine. Not everybody wants to use one of these. Perhaps you just want to use something sort of more traditional. These are acrylic shapes with little holes in them so you can see where you start and finish your sewing. They've already taken into account your 1/4 inch seam allowance, and these are for use ideally with your rotary cutter and also your strip rolls that we've got on offer today. So these work really, really well together. So you've got all of these different shapes that come in your pack. So you can see you've got squares and half hexagons, jewels, diamonds, all sorts of different things. And the one I'm going to be using today is the tumbler shape, which is this one here. Now, in your little booklet that you'll get in your pack, it will give you a whole load of different designs that you can make with these templates. Now, these are ideal kind of sizes for making something quite small, so like a little bag or maybe a table mat, something like that, because they're quite tiny in comparison to some of the dies that we do have. But you'll see you've got all sorts of different designs you can make, either just using one of the shapes, or if you're going to be using multiple shapes. This one, for example, you're using, this almost looks like they call it a Bargello quilt, where it's lots of different sort of shades of sort of tones of colours, and it almost looks like a graphic equaliser. It goes up and down like that, so you could definitely make something very simply using these designs here. So I'll show you how you'll use them. So let's take our tumbler. And I'm going to use some of my, this is the glorious greens that we've got. I'm just going to take one of these strips here.
If you do want the glorious greens that comes with the patchwork template, we're going to put that on screen now. So just a reminder, all of the mini patchwork templates are the same, like they're the same packs that Becky's just got out there. It just depends on the colour option that is speaking to you. So if you want the greens, it's on your screens.
Oh, very good.
Thanks.
I'm impressed with that.
Thanks, yeah, it just came to me.
So what we're going to do, if you see here on my strip roll, so these are 2.5-inch strip rolls, and these are 2.5-inch little templates. Put it up here, you'll be able to see a little bit better. Now you'll see when I put it on there, there is actually, it's a little bit bigger than 2.5 inches, and that's because we've got this sort of pinking sheared edge around the outside. So that's the bit that we sort of don't want to take into account. Now what you will also see here is effectively this dotted line, which is going to be your stitching line. And at each of these points you've got a little hole. This is perfect for if you're going to be doing something that involves a Y seam, for example like a hexagon or something like that. You don't want to stitch all the way to the end of the piece of fabric that you're stitching together. You want to stop so you can sort of put your two seams together. So this is really, really useful for if you're going to be doing something like that. Now you can cut multiple layers of fabric. It's up to you if you just want to use single layers of fabric. But obviously if you're going to be marking these little stop and start points for your stitching, you'll obviously only be able to mark one piece of fabric at a time. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of fabric here, and I'm using my smallest rotary cutter. It's entirely up to you which size one you use. I find that this one is the better one for me if I'm working at a table height which is a little bit higher than I would normally use. So for here, our units are a little bit higher. I'd normally be a little bit further down so I can get sort of a good sort of purchase on the with the rotary cutter. So I'm going to work on a slight angle. So I'm just going to hold my template down, and I'm going to use my rotary cutter, and I'm going to cut across here. I'm going to keep everything in place, and I'm going to flip my board around, and I'm going to cut the other side. And that means I'm keeping everything in place and I'm not moving anything out of the way. So when I do that, I've got my perfectly cut little shape, my little tumbler shape. Now, we would then carry on continuing to cut them until you can put them into your design. Now when we sew these together, you sew into a long line, into a long row. So you would then flip these like this. And again, similar to the little diamonds that we did earlier today, when you're putting them together to sew, they look like they're not going to work because you've got this funny angle here. But we're just going to sew this one together now. So I'll pop those 2 edges together and then run it through the machine using my 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm not worrying too much about making those start and stop points on my sewing because I've not got any Y seams here, so I don't need to worry too much about it. And then when we fold out, you will see that everything then matches up. So we've got this, we'll continue with this straight line. So that's effectively how you use it. So what I've done is I've already cut out my shapes, and I've already sewn them together. And what I've made is
If you have just tuned in, we're making an egg carrier.
As you do. So I've sewn these using all the fabrics that we've got on the show today, all this sort of yellows, the creams, and I've chosen the darker green from the Glorious Greens strip roll. Now I sewed, I worked out a little pattern. So what I'm making is actually a chicken that you can store your eggs in. So I've already sewn everything together, and then I've cut out the shape. So you can see I've got a chicken's head over here, and then I've got some kind of feathers towards the back.
That's so
and I've
cute.
given them a little bit of an iron. And so what I'm using here is I'm using something called bosal or foam. So when we've had we've used sort of wadding before, and wadding's sort of quite floppy. This is foam, and this is the kind of thing that we would use for bags that needed a lot of structure. So when we've had bags, and particularly with large bags, and you want something that sort of stays upright, this is the kind of thing that you would use. So this is what I've used in this particular one. Now, I've already cut out a base part for my chicken, and I've used some lining fabric, and I've put lining fabric on both sides, and then I've just stitched around the outside, and I've just used zigzag stitch. Would be really good if you had an overlocker, and you could use that around the edge here, but that's just going to make a solid sort of completed piece of fabric that I can use for the base of my chicken. I never thought I'd say that, for the base of my chicken.
Oh, that's lovely.
So what I've done here is I've already adhered a piece of felt to, so we've got the 2 pieces of my chicken facing either way. So my chicken is going to look like this. I know it doesn't look much like a chicken at the moment, but it will do. It will do when I'm finished.
Yeah, believe
so that's
you.
how it's going to look. So I've already adhered a piece of white felt to the face part of my chicken. And I've also sewn a piece of lining fabric into, just on this little piece here, just along this kind of side here, because what we're going to do is we're going to sew, do exactly the same with the other piece. We're going to sew the lining just in the middle here, and then when we sew the whole thing together, the lining fabric will then hold, or the chicken will be secured on either side at the front and bottom, and then you've got a little place in the middle to put the eggs.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You're looking confused.
My face is like just so.
What the
I can't
hell are you
hide
doing,
anything.
Becky?
Yeah, I can't hide anything on my face. So I'm not sure where you're going with this, but I really like that.
So the chicken's going to look like this. So we've got his sort of beak over here.
Oh
you
my
can see how that's going to look in a minute. So we're going to. This is the little. What do you call that? The crown? Is it the crown?
Yeah, maybe.
I
Yeah.
don't know. We're going to put that there. So we're going to just.
What's the bit on his chin called?
I don't know.
Is it a wattle or is
What's
it?
the wattles bit at the top? I don't know.
Oh, I don't
Beard?
know.
No, I don't know.
Beard.
Beard. It's like a beard, isn't it? So we want these parts to be attached in between the front and the back of the chicken.
Just to let you know, the underneath is a wattle, indeed. What about the top of the head? Is that a crown? We'll find out. We'll find out for you.
Where did wattle and daub come from?
Yeah, I don't know. I know what it is,
Yeah.
but
You would have thought it'd be the same sort of thing, wouldn't you?
maybe, yeah.
Right.
It's called a comb.
Ah,
Of
yeah, that
course
makes sense.
it is.
Yeah.
Like the coxcomb.
Yeah.
That's it,
yeah.
isn't it? A chicken
Yeah.
comb. Oh, that makes sense now.
So I've folded the chicken's facial features inside.
Yes.
Because when we stitch them all together, they will then sort of pop out. So we're just putting this like so.
Hey, that's a good idea, Rhonda. Sew a button on the chicken's head for an eye.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I should have
Lovely.
done that, and I didn't. I might just have to use a pen for the moment. So I'm going to sew. I'm just going to sew these pieces in place before I start putting everything else together.
Okay. Plenty of people talking about them mini patchwork templates. Rosalind saying, I need them in my stash. Hello to Rhonda as well, who's saying, my mother is an award-winning quilter.
Oh.
And I was watching her cut pieces out for a double wedding ring design. I had to tell her what those little holes in the templates before. She was amazed. And she's 90.
Wow.
Still learning even at 90. We love that. Also, that sounds gorgeous, the design she's making, really nice. Lots of people also talk about the tool tidy. Rhonda says the tool tidy also fits perfectly in the second layer of the Totally Tiffany workstation. I did not know that, Rhonda, so that is very helpful. Thank you for sharing, my love. Appreciate it.
I think somebody once said they put their keys in it because you could just sort of push the
Great
keys
idea.
in there, then you know where they all are. There's lots of different things you could use it for.
That's a great idea.
So you can see when I sew everything together,
Oh, look at
he's
him.
gonna
Hello.
look like this.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. Right, so I'm going to now sew my other piece of lining fabric in here. So in exactly the same sort of way as I did this piece here. So this, I've just sewn the lining just from the top of the head to the where the tails effectively starts. I'm going to sew that piece in on this side as well. So right sides together. Sew that as well. So this is the first time I've used this kind of foam, and it's quite good fun actually to make something that's very structured.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
That'd be good for a sewn crown, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah.
Because we made that Easter crown not that long ago, didn't we?
We did, yeah. That seems like a really long time ago. I preferred the crown that I was wearing the other week.
Yes.
The real crown.
Yeah. It was a bit more blingy, wasn't it?
We were talking in the break, weren't we, about, because I said, we were talking about Fabergé eggs, and I said the Fabergé egg that I really want, the Queen has.
Yes.
I was thinking, oh, if I could borrow anything from the Queen, what would I borrow? And I have to go for, I'd like that gold carriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how it started off small. You were like, oh, the Fabergé egg, and then you were like, oh, the crown, and then you were like, actually, just the carriage.
Yeah.
Do me good.
Or, well, I don't know, is a carriage a good idea? It'd be a nightmare to park. Never get it in the supermarket.
And also, if you've just got a carriage, well, what use is that? You need the horses and everything.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Think about that. Then you have to get a stable, won't you? You have to learn how to look after a horse.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not. I'll stick with the Fabergé egg. Thanks. If that's an option still.
Yeah, yeah. I reckon the Queen would be great to have lens from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think so.
Now, I've been inside Buckingham Palace.
Have you?
Yeah, and you are not allowed to take any photographs in there.
Oh, I didn't know
Which I
that.
suppose is understandable, but you are not allowed to take any photographs in there whatsoever. But let me tell you, oh, it's regal. It is as you might expect, like lots of glass cabinets with big, gorgeous, like edged sort of golden plates inside and things like that. It's yeah, beautiful.
It's how you think you expect it to be, I suppose.
Yeah. It's not like if someone knocks on and, you know, came over to your house. I don't know if you're anything like me, but you know how, like, I would say the palace is very well organised. Do you know what I mean? Not like mine where your friends come over or whatever and you kind of, rubbish, you know, there's loads of just, like, half dirty clothes on the bed or whatever, so you just like throw them under the bed, or you tackle some stuff into the wardrobe and then oh, don't open that cupboard. It's none of that at all. No, I didn't get to see bedrooms and things like that. Yeah, no, there's only certain places that you can go and see.
That would be quite. I've never been actually, and in fact, I'd never been to like the Houses of Parliament or anything like that until I was quite old.
Yeah.
And I think because my parents lived in London, they didn't really see the appeal of going to those kinds of places.
It's funny that, isn't it? I've thought this before. I think if you live or you grow up in a specific place, even though it could be a tourist destination that people will travel miles and miles and miles to go and see, you don't tend to as a local, do you?
No, you don't. I suppose because it's on your doorstep.
Yeah.
You don't bother. I'm going to change my foot because I want to sew not 1/4 of an inch but 1/2 an inch around here, just to make sure that I pick up. So I'm obviously sewing through quite a lot of layers.
Yeah.
Now where I'm going to sew from, so I've put right sides together on my chicken, and I'm going to sew just from where I sort of started that. Where I've got my lining already sewn. I'm just going to start from there.
Okay.
And I'm going to sew around here, and then around here as well. But I'm going to leave this piece open because I'm then going to attach the bottom part of the chicken to it. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Are you allergic to something? Are you allergic to chickens?
No.
Is that what the problem is?
No.
Right.
I don't know who it was, but someone a couple of weeks ago. Do you know what, actually? She's not in the room right now, but so I'm going to blame her. Michelle, a couple of weeks ago, said to me, whenever I come in here, it always makes me sneeze. And I was like, well, that's never happened to me. And since then, I've got the sneezes.
Is it when I sew? Because could it be the fluff from the fabric?
Maybe it could. Maybe. Could be. It was a nice little sneeze, though, just to fill you in. I do love a good sneeze, I have to say. Do feel free to name the chicken. We will be also doing a demo of the show in a little bit, so do feel free to come up with a name for the chicken that we're making.
I used to work for a big office, and I always sneezed when I came in, and it was the dust from all the computers when you started up the computers.
Right, yeah.
That used to sort of set me off.
Yeah.
There's lots of things going around, aren't there? So you can see here, now it's getting quite difficult to stitch through because there's
That's
quite
just
a
because
lot
you've got
of
so many layers, is it?
Yeah. So this is the sort of time that actually, if you had a quilting, a walking foot, that would be quite useful to use.
Yeah.
It's going to be slow going round here because I'm now sewing through the felt and the comb and the wattle.
Wattle.
Yeah.
You can sort of hear it working, can't you?
Yeah, you can definitely. All right. Let's see if that's all working. That's looking okay to me.
I'm going to be honest with you, Becky. I'm still absolutely perplexed as to what you're doing.
It's not, it'll make sense, I promise.
No, I absolutely have full faith in you. You've never let me down thus far. So I have full faith. It's just
no pressure, no pressure.
Oh.
You've never let me down.
I'm just really intrigued.
So now I'm going to put the, so I've sewn all the way around here.
Yeah.
I'm now going to put the bottom in the chicken.
Right.
The base in the chicken.
Yeah.
So a bit like we've done in the past where we've put the bases into bags. It's effectively what we're doing here.
Okay.
Ideally, if you've got an overlocker, it's really good if you can overlock here before you put this all together. But just for ease and quickness, I'm going to clip this around the edge and then sew it.
There's a few people agreeing with us about if you sort of grow up or live in a town, you just don't do the touristy things, even though people will travel. Pammy is one of them saying, I agree, Becky. We have the International Boxing Hall of Fame, less than 2 miles from my house. I've never been. Never been.
But I suppose that's quite unique. You've got to be into boxing to want to go to that, surely.
I don't know. I'd just go to it so I can say I've been to it.
Yeah.
And it's only 2 miles down the road. Do you know what I mean? Roll your Queen's carriage down to it, Becky. But yeah, no, that's a good one. And I bet people travel for miles, don't they, to go and see that, the Boxing Hall of Fame. Someone said before, actually, they'd just gotten in from a kickboxing class. I hope it went well.
Wow.
And you didn't, I don't know what, pull any muscles? Yeah, pull any muscles.
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit tricky stitching around. So I'm just going to just do it quite slowly. So I'm stitching the chicken body to the chicken bottom.
Okay.
It's poor chicken.
Yeah, but you're making the chicken become real before. It was
Yeah.
just a flat bit of fabric.
I do hope it won't come alive when we've gone home. And maybe he's the Easter chicken and he's going to deliver eggs for everybody in the building.
Maybe.
You said that in a real maybe for Becky's mad again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, at least you know I'm honest with you, Becky.
Yeah, I know.
Don't forget, actually, we need to do a bit of a demo of the day vote soon, don't we? Demo of the show, sorry. Vote soon. We've had 3 sets of holders today, which I love. Holder 1, holder 2, holder 3. I love it.
I obviously was in the mood for tidying and organising
Yeah,
when
you
I was
must have
working
been,
out
yeah.
what to do.
Yeah.
Takes all sorts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So stitch this around.
So is this, just to make it really clear, because I'm not entirely sure yet, I genuinely have no idea what I'm looking at. Is it to hold actual real eggs or Easter eggs?
Oh, real eggs or
Right,
Easter
okay,
eggs?
real eggs. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just never walked into a shop and seen anything like this. I think it's really exciting.
I remember years ago my mum having like a ceramic chicken that used to hold the eggs.
Yes.
So this is just like an alternative.
Oh, fab!
Right. Now, hopefully. Sorry,
I'm being asked if I get it yet. I haven't got a clue.
If I turn everything round.
Right.
Very carefully.
This is really
Everyone's
exciting.
waiting with bated breath,
I'm
aren't they?
genuinely so excited about this.
Please work. There, it's done. No, it's not really. Yeah, it's just like that. Yeah, it's modern art chicken.
I'm loving this. I'm so excited. Sorry, I should really be chatting now, but I'm just captivated.
I haven't quite picked up that little bit here. I'd have to sew that back.
We can
But-
fix that. Whoa! Get ready! Whoa! That is brilliant! Right, can we vote, please?
We need to
for a
give it a little
favourite?
eye and just give it all a bit of a press
we
and
vote?
obviously trim a couple
We've
of
got
things.
just
but-
enough time to vote for our favourite, so do you mind reminding us of the other ones? We will pop an eye in around it and sew his head up and things. But just as a reminder, there's number one was the makeup brush holder. The second one was the chopstick holder, and the third one was the egg holder. Just as a bit of a reminder. Oh, look, that's brilliant. That is so funny. I just love it. Okay, do people please to message in 1, 2, or 3. Have you got the others to hand, Peggy?
I have, yeah.
Just to help people out. There you go. So 1
It's
is
the
here.
makeup holder.
Yeah. 2.
Is my chopstick holder.
Yeah. Oh, 3.
Is my chicken.
Your egg holder. So do feel free to message us in letting us know which one is your favourite. I will just remind you that on the show today, as well as that fabulous set of makes we've got for you, the build a block of the day. Sorry, I just can't believe what I've just witnessed. It's beautiful. I have got for you our build a block of the day. This is our pineapple design, and this one is how it will look. Look at all of the fabulous dyes that you're getting in here, but also check out the fabulous styles and designs that you can create. Not only is it that kind of design here, look, it's this one here. Absolutely adore that. Look at this big cushion as well that you've got. It's absolutely beautiful. We've had the winner in already. I will just let you know that is the quickest winner I've seen in my life. I will keep you posted on that though. Well, I have got for you today that beautiful design, let alone the one on the front, just to give you an idea of how it can look finished off as a big blanket, for example. You've got that today, 70% discount. All of the dyes, all of the quality, all of the opportunity to use it on different fabrics, card and more. And today it is just £20.99 or $26.98. And again, looking at that platinum price, especially as we've got triple points at the moment, so it's just adding it up. The winner of demo of the show is the chicken!
Excellent. Excellent.
Oh, cracking joke. And as said, if you have the chicken open at the bottom, it could be a tea cosy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Becky, that is, Shadi said, Becky, I don't know why I'm laughing at this. Becky, that hen is fab. Can I have a pattern, please?
Yeah. I can send that across. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, she's a good egg. You didn't wing it then. Becky, thank you so much. Your ingenuity and personality entertain me constantly. When are you next with us, please?
Next week, next Friday.
Perfect. We will tune in then. Don't forget, it is Wonderful Becky Sworn if you want to find her online. Now, we've still got loads to come for you today. I've got Michelle who's going to be joining me in 2 hours' time, where we're talking about the Ultimate Pro. There's so much coming up on that show, and don't forget it's still triple points, so go ahead and treat yourself. Myself, the entire team, including the wonderful Michelle, will be back with you in 2 hours. We will see you then.